Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to the market close. I finally, I'm going to move this over just a little bit there. Finally got the camera working. It wasn't the phone. I had to actually log out of my Mac Studio because I think it was the module that controlled the controls. And that was what was broken. So had to log out, log back in, it reinstalled it, got it going. It's all working now, so welcome to the show. And those of you who were not here for the technical issues we had yesterday, then you're probably like, no idea what she's talking about. But we're good. We're good. So we do have we've got a green day today on the market, so not too shabby. A good way to start the weekend for sure. And guys, we had this neat little conversation yesterday all about Broadcom. So let me just pull this up. Let's give me a second here. I'm going to pull it up first. I don't want to look at the market yet. I want to look at Broadcom. There we go. So let me just share this. Bang, boom. So we were talking about Broadcom yesterday, and I'll show you where we were at. Let's just see here. Right here. So this last little red candle down here, I think it was Claude was asking me about, is it a good time to maybe get in on a swing trade with Broadcom? And I showed kind of where I saw this channel for Broadcom currently. So I kind of charted a couple of lines. So it's like saying, here's your bottom support, worst case scenario, and here's a potential top support. So I did come to the conclusion yesterday that we were probably going to look at the upside. And I even said, yeah, Broadcom is ripe for a swing trade. And well, here's what it did. Just to sort of point it out, it kind of made it up here. It got close to our purple line. Then a little bit of a bounce back. So it looks like it stayed true to that. So hopefully, Claude, hopefully you made some money on that one because if your due diligence agreed with mine, of course. But yeah, that was kind of a neat thing. I was looking at that just before the stream, and I was just like, oh my gosh, that one worked exactly as the technical analysis kind of said it probably was gonna work. So pretty darn cool. It's pretty darn cool for sure. All right, getting back to the market, let's head on over here to the Toronto Stock Exchange. And we are up today 0.69%, having a pretty good day. Obviously, base materials having a stronger day. That's certainly helping. We also had job numbers that dropped today as well. So we did in December, we added jobs in December, but at the same time, and sometimes it's hard for this to happen, but at the same time, we added jobs and we also ticked up on unemployment. Unemployment moved up from 6.5% to, what was it, 6.8%. So yeah, definitely a little bit of a movement towards unemployment. But at least we added some net jobs. We added some net jobs to the system. And one of the questions, and we'll address this throughout the show. What does this mean for rate cuts? Because the Bank of Canada is going to be meeting on, I believe it is, I was going to say February. It's January 28th. So on January 28th, that is their next rate decision. I called it at the beginning of the year, I called it a pause. Does this change my mind? That's the question. I will tell you this, it does not. In a sense, we get one positive, one negative. They kind of cancel each other out. So I will say, I think we're still going to have a pause. So we'll see. I hope I'm wrong. I'd love a rate cut, but I think it will be a pause. All right. So looking at the U.S. market, the S&P 500 also doing good today, 0.78. So both, and you notice here, TSX, S&P, both well above that blue line. And that blue line, that's the division between a green month and a red month. So they're both having a good month thus far. So January, I mean, we're a little over a week in. January is definitely looking to be a green month. I was not calling it as a green month. I thought it was going to be a really choppy month, but wow, look at this. The NASDAQ having a pretty good day as well. They got themselves back on the proper side of the line as they did a good climb today, going up 1.19%. And of course, you guys all know Broadcom. Broadcom was one of the leaders on the way up for sure. All right, and the Dow Jones Industrial up 0.56%, so looking pretty steady. And those little caps, well, the first part of the day, you know, they had a little bit of a, well, not even the first part of the day. This here's your first part of the day, but this afternoon they had a bit of a retreat, but they seem to be finishing on a green. So they're finishing on a green, so that's not too shabby. So as I mentioned before, look at commodities. You got gold up 0.58%, silver up 3.77, copper up 2.10. That certainly playing in the favor of the TSX today for sure. WTI oil, so West Texas Intermediate, also up 1.14. Crypto, on the other hand, is down a little bit. Not bad, but you know, both Bitcoin and Ethereum in the red. So, heading on over to our heat map, and as I was fixing the camera, I didn't get a chance to refresh, so we'll just refresh as we go into these today. Looking pretty, whoa. I just noticed something. I'm on the side. I'm on the side over here. Let's see if we can fix that. And actually, I don't like that spot either. So I will edit it, and I will bring it up here. There we go. Up here into the middle-ish. I think I like the top middle. All right, just update here. Bang, boom. You guys should see it here in a moment, but there we go. It gets me out of the way. All right, so the banks, most of them looking pretty, well, I don't want to say pretty good. Most of them are kind of flat, to be honest. I mean, Royal Bank is up a little bit, 0.34. TD is down a little bit, 0.19. BMO down a little bit. Scotiabank down a little bit too. CM, CIBC, they're down, probably doing the worst today, I would say. And, oh boy, we got ourselves an ad, and it's blocking National Bank, who's actually doing okay today. Look at that, up 1.05%. Railroads are down a little bit. CP a lot more than CNR, but all of our non-energy, all of our gold stocks are all doing really good. Look at this. Barrick Gold up 1.25%. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. And this one here, it's actually funny. This is London Mining, who is up 5.46%. That's not London Gold. London Gold is a different stock. Where is London Gold in there? It's in here somewhere. IVN today up 1.98%. So not too shabby, not too shabby at all. Now, most of that happened pretty early in the day. So pretty early in the day, it kind of pumped really, really fast in the first part of the morning. I think it's retreated a lot since then. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. A little bit of good news for oil as well. So CNQ, once again, they're up a 1.76. Imperial Oil, Cenovus, Suncor, all doing fantastic. Heading to the south, and I'll just refresh this, guys. Technology, like I said, having a better day. NASDAQ looking pretty strong. So we got Google up 1.29, Microsoft's up, Meta's up. Look at Oracle up 5.26%. Nvidia's kind of flat. They are up 0.07. Apple's up a wee bit as well. And Tesla's having not a bad day, up 2.16%. All right, looking at crypto, and I'll refresh that. I'll refresh that. There we go. We got our red. So mostly a red day on the crypto web, I guess, or the crypto verse. It is tradition here to just, I like to pick on a coin. We're going to pick a coin doing the exact opposite of what the market's doing. So we'll grab some little green coin here somewhere. All right. Let's grab this one here. What is this one? All right, so this is never. I think we've seen this one before because I remember making a play on never. Like I'll never buy this one. So, but yeah, we have seen this one before. You know what? Let's pick a different one. I want one I've never seen before. Let's grab this one down here. What do we got? Well, this one is certainly a change. It's a change. So I don't know what this one is all about. Maybe this is the one. Maybe if you're looking for something different, this is the one to go with. I don't know. It's not worth much. It's worth roughly 0.06 of a penny. So what can I say? Pretty, yeah. I'm not excited about it. There is about 15,000 of these coins around. So there's actually more than 15,000 altcoins. It's a mess. There's a lot of them. A lot of them will come up with kind of fun little names, but you don't want to invest on something because it has a fun name. Back a few years ago, back when the Squid Games were really big, when they were initially really big, somebody came up with a squid coin. And people were like, oh my God, it's like the Squid Games coin. Let's buy it. Turned into a giant rug pull. So you always want to be really careful. You want to read the white paper for these. You want to make sure, maybe even follow the developers on social media, things like that. Do your homework big time on these coins because I'll tell you, I would not touch this one even if I really did want a change. So yeah, what can I say? It's a crazy coin. I call them crap coins because quite literally, guys, it's like going to the casino, go to the crap table, throw the dice. You're probably not gonna win. You're probably not gonna win with these as well. Stick to your big coins. So we're talking. Oh, let's go this way. We're talking your Bitcoins, your Ethereum, your XRP. Cardano, Solano, and gosh darn it, even the Dogecoin. Even the Dogecoin. All right. There we go. Let's. Oh, I know what I did. See, I already. Yeah, there we go. I did the share over here by mistake. Oh boy. This is my. This is. You know what? We'll use the filming. Yeah, all right. So what? We lost our green. We lost our green. I'm okay with it. This will be my, maybe that's what 2026 will be, the year of the technical difficulty. We'll take it. We'll take it nonetheless. So if you miss the green, well, here, I can fix it. I can fix it pretty darn quickly. I just got to click there. Bang. We got the green back. Let's hit the chat. Let's hit the chat. All right. Jonathan, am I late for Thursday? Yes. Yes. This time, the answer is actually yes. Claude says, hello. Oh no. Oh no, Claude. Claude missed the Broadcom trade. Price was already up too much when I had the chance to check. Oh well, another time. Oh, I was hoping for a happy story, Claude. I was hoping for a happy story. Claude just throwing money around. Look at the money I made. Oh, dear. Zenial says, good afternoon. Intel keeps defying logic while AMD is one of, if not the worst semiconductors. Micron and SanDisk also continuing their run. Yeah. Intel at one point, nobody could touch Intel. I mean, do you remember back in the day when they had the Pentium and they used to dominate. They used to dominate. So they've and they're still important. I think they're still going to be fine. But they don't have that dominance that they used to have. That's for sure. Brian is in the house with a good afternoon, everyone. And look, another green day. It's nice seeing my portfolio up a little each day, up 0.60% today and 3+% this week. Oh, yeah. And guys, just give me a second here. I forgot to turn on the Nightbot. So as you guys know, in December, we did the Financial Express. So the Financial Express was basically a chance to add new market closes because normally I do one market close a week. That's on the Wednesday. So through December, you guys added a market close to every single day. And as a reward, you guys get to keep the Financial Express going as long as you want. So it is open for Monday. So if you guys want a Monday stream, then before the end of the stream, if we see 4 supers or 4 gifted subs or a combination of either, we throw a Monday show on. If we don't, then it stops. We go back to the old schedule. Either way, I'm in for the long haul. You know, when I gave you guys that reward, I was just like, you know what? If they make me work every single market close in 2026, I'm here for it. So it's up to you guys, nonetheless. All right, now let's get back to Brian's comment here. I spent today's dividends, 1 on HHIS, 1 on CPCC, 5 on 6E, and 8 on C-Day. Nice. Very, very cool. Yeah, it's, you know, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that at all. Yeah. I love getting dividends. I love getting dividends. And dividend spending is a lot of fun for sure. All right. Max says happy Friday, everyone, and happy start of the weekend. Yeah, we got the weekend coming up. And guys, I was late with the bell yesterday. I made a New Year's resolution to not miss the bell. But I was late yesterday. What was I? Was I 2 or 4 minutes? I think let's say 4. Let's just say I was 4 minutes late. I might have only been 2, but we'll say 4 because it makes me feel even more guilty. So it doesn't mean I'm going to try to be late anymore. I'm gonna be very, very careful here. So today we got 10 more minutes. I am going to pay attention, and I'm not going to let you guys distract me. Now, I'm not going to go off on a tangent. Of course, I say that, and I probably will go off on a tangent, but as long as it's a shorter tangent so that I can hit that bell on time. Stan says, happy Friday, all. And let's see. Brian says, just watching all of the BS going on in Minnesota while I'm waiting. What a barbaric country. I know. Every time I think I'm not going to see anything coming out of the U.S. that surprises me, they surprise me. So yeah, absolutely. A horrific event by any way, shape, or form, for sure. And Brian says, translation, the camera again. It was, I just got the camera, and the funny thing is, I actually got ChatGPT, because I got ChatGPT to troubleshoot it earlier, and we were going through everything, and finally it was like, oh, don't reboot the computer, it's your profile. So, you know, we figured it out. We made a good team. We got it done. Paul is in the house with a good afternoon. And hey, at least yesterday you got to see a little bit more of the studio. So you got to, we'll go with that. Gursky says hello. And let's see, had $5 of unaccounted for cash. Buy 1 share of MSTE for $4.68. Okay, there we go. Why not? Why not? Elaine is in the house with a good afternoon, all. Scott says Ferran up 8% today. Ooh, let's take a look. So we were looking yesterday at Ferran. F-I-R-A-N. Here we go. Look at this. 9 now, Scott. 9.88%. They're having, look at this, another big movement to the upside for Ferran Technology Group. So I do hold this one in the 0 to 100K challenge. In fact, guys, let's take a look here. Where is my challenge? Here it is, right. I'm just going to drag it over. And Ferran, where are they at? Right here, right here, FTG. So yeah, right now, their total return, look at that. It's up to 36.67%. I am loving it. All right, we'll get rid of the 0 to 100K there. Oh, by the way, guys, if you want to check in on the 0 to 100K challenge at any time, you can do that over on Blossom. I'll just drop that link in down below. So don't be shy. Sign on up. And when you get over there, follow me, please. I'll follow you back because that's what when I look at the feed in Blossom, I'm looking at you guys. I'm looking for you guys. You're the ones I want to comment on. I don't want to comment on somebody I don't know. I want to comment on you guys. So that's what I'm looking for. So sign up today and we'll have a conversation over there for sure. And we got Mary in the house. And hello, Mary. Mary is our official captain of the like button. So guys, if you've not yet hit that like button, now is the time. Wait, why am I over there? Let's see. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, that's why. Never mind. I'm having so much fun today. So, but at the same time, I should have 2 share windows, right, guys? Because look, this is the normal share on the side, and I just moved it to the middle, and I can just clip back and forth. Look, boom, bang. Oh, I feel like I'm like a pendulum. So, oh dear. All right, let's go. We'll go back to the big screen here. I'm gonna play with these. I'm gonna play with these guys and see if I can. Anything that I can just move my head quickly. I like that, so that way there I don't block things. So yeah, once again, hit that like button if you haven't yet. I'm gonna have some coffee while you guys do that. Oh my gosh, that is so good. Tom says bumpy ride for Air Canada today. I have not looked at Air Canada today. So let's do it. Guys, middle? Yeah, we'll go middle. All right, Air Canada, here we go. Oh, look at that. They're down 1.19% on the day. So I'm going to just look at the day here. Okay, so yeah, look at this. They came in strong. Oh, yeah, a little bit of a dump there. They have not yet dumped below 19, though. So if I want to add more Air Canada this month, I need them to dump below 19. Because as you guys know, over in the 0 to 100K challenge, I am stacking Air Canada each month when they're below 19, and when they get to 21, I'm selling. So it's basically just a fun little swing trade we got going over on the challenge. But yeah, pretty bumpy road. Looks like they hit some turbulence. That's what it looks like. Wahipple is in the house with a hey all. Hey Wahipple, how are you? Let's see. Ian says, yesterday I finally broke even on RMAX when dividends added in, going to sit on them. Good for diversification in my portfolio. Yeah, I like RMAX. Even though I'm not super bullish on real estate in 2026, I still think RMAX is going to keep itself above water. And you've got some pretty good dividends coming through. So yeah, RMAX, I'm going to keep them for sure. All right. And guys, I do see something here. Paul is in first with a $1 super sticker. So that's one step towards that Monday show. And that does release our first goat. And by the way, guys, these goats are going to be retired. They're going to be replaced by secret goats. So we have secret goats. The first secret goat is in the building, but we have to unlock that goat. And you guys have to figure out how. I don't know if you have to figure out, or either probably stumble upon how to do it. But I'll give a hint each week. And this week's hint on how to unlock the first secret goat is 5. So whatever 5 means. Now, we have hit 5 super / gifted to get to the our flash dance goat. We've done that, so that's not the 5. So but what could it be? What could it be? We don't know. Anyway, each of them's going to have a different unlock, and we'll do 4 of those until we got 4 brand new goats. So we'll see how long it takes. It might just get to a point that I'll have to tell you exactly how to unlock things, because, I'm not that patient. I'm pretty patient, but I want to see the new goats. I want to see new goats. All right. All right, getting back to the chat here. Let's see. Claude says tech difficulties bubble. I know. I really thought it was going to be an easier fix than it was, but I'm glad we got it fixed nonetheless. So now I've got my control back. Lisa's in the house with a hi, everyone. Wahipple, I got some CPCC from my TFSA this morning and also picked up some HDIV and ECHI for my RRSP. Nice. I like both of those. And of course, interestingly enough, all three of those RRSPs, all three of those ETFs are in the video that dropped today, guys. So if you haven't checked out that video, do so after the stream. Hang with me for a while. And then do it. Mark is in the house with a happy Green Friday. Hello, Mark. Good to see you. Always good to see Mark. Mark's always one of my fun. He's fun. I love Mark. Mark's awesome. All right. Lisa says, Candace, in your opinion, do you think the telecoms are in recovery mode, or will there be more pain to endure? Debating adding some more to cost average down. Thoughts? Okay. They're better. They're going to have a better. I think they're going to have a better year than last year. So, well, last year it's not that, and that's not a high bar. That's really not a high bar. I think they'll finish 2026 higher than they've entered them. I think they're not going to have a banner year. There's going to be nobody rushing out. There's going to be no FOMO around the sector. But I do think that we will have some slow movement to the upside through the year. There might be some rocky moments along the way, but I think they'll be fine. Are they the best opportunity out there? No. I would say anything. Are they a good opportunity for diversification? Sure. But I'm not excited. I'm not excited about the telecoms. I haven't added. I'm not adding any. I don't plan to add any, at least at this moment, other than any exposure I might get through an ETF or something. But yeah, I think they'll do okay this year. It really is going to boil down to a couple of things. So one of the big problems with our telecoms is, oh my God, the bell. I'm a minute late. Welcome to the weekend. Oh dear God, 2 days in a row. I don't know. All right. I'm going to come up with a new system. I'm going to come up with a new system to make sure I don't. Yeah. Oh boy. All right. I'm on a roll. That's for sure. Or a clang. I don't know what we'll call it, but all right. We're talking about telecoms. There we go. Yeah, one of the things that's going to come down to is right now, I think the telecom market in Canada, there's not a lot of room to grow. Most people have it. One of the big three or one of the subsidiaries of the big three. And for the most part, they're kind of trading customers. They're trading customers back and forth. I don't see a lot of room for them to even to really increase prices and things. Canadians are already maxed out with some of the high costs that they have. So I see where a lot of growth that we're going to see within these guys is going to be from what they're doing on the side. So, of course, Rogers is doubling down on sports. So they've been expanding their sports offering and all of that fun stuff. And both Bell and TELUS they're doubling down on AI data centers, which could be the better move. Even though I think Rogers may have the better year, but at the same time, if that double down on those AI data centers really works out well, maybe that could be really good for both Bell and TELUS. All right. Rob says, Intel was rigging the market by paying clients to purchase Intel products rather than trying to improve their chip technology back in the day. All right, fair enough. I will say one thing. I'm glad that Apple has their M chip now, and get rid of the Intel chips. Unfortunately, I got the last MacBook Pro with an Intel chip in it. So I got an Intel chip in my MacBook Pro. You know, and quite literally a year later, they had the first M chip in the MacBook Pros, and I was like, no, I missed it. But you know, eventually someday when I get a new MacBook Pro, it may be a while. This one works perfectly fine. It'll be one of the M chips for sure at that point. Wahibble says AMD chips tend to get more processing cycles per watt, sorry, and run cooler than Intel chips. Okay, fair enough. Balik is in the house with a hey all, and let's see, a dividend payday is exciting, and those semi-monthly ETFs make that much better. It's, yeah, I mean, and you know, here's the thing. I made a prediction that by the end of this year, I think we're going to see our first weekly dividend payer in Canada. And because it's really interesting, in a lot of the talk I've heard from different CEOs of some of these management companies, a lot of them have been like, well, you know, we're not really set up. It's just not something that's in the cards. That's kind of the talk we were hearing about 6 months ago. But even if you guys watch that Raj, so the interview I had with Raj, the ETF. I was going to say the ETF of Evolve, but no, the CEO of Evolve. There's so many letters, guys. Yeah, he was kind of hinting that if the market demands it, it could happen. So I think it will happen. I think we'll see it by the end of this year. That was one of my predictions. So hopefully that comes true, because I would like to get an 80%, and I already lost points on Venezuela. So Brian says, depending on any tangents, bell in 8 minutes. Oh, how right you were, Brian. How right you were. Roku from Stittsville is in the house, and it's a beautiful day here in Ottawa today. Well, rainy, but warm. All right, let's see here. Talon Metals up on good news. I have not heard the good news. Talon Metals. Let's take a gander at Talon Metals. All right, Talon. Here we go. Talon Metals Corporation. So yeah, look at that, up 3.08%. Now here's why I haven't paid any attention to them. 67 cents, penny stock. Penny stocks. I'm not a fan of the penny stocks, but look at what this one's been doing. It was 7, roughly almost 8 cents. So let's just say 8 cents. It was around 8 cents earlier in about a year ago. They have made a big move to the upside. I am liking that. I am kind of curious. I don't know how much we're going to have on their back end, but let's take a quick gander at that. Okay. They don't appear to have any debt. That's great. They're not yet profitable yet, so look at this, but they're not that far off. I mean, you have a return on equity of negative 1.05. So they could be on the move to getting themselves profitable. Now, I don't know what the big news was, but let's see if it's here on the news page. January 9th. Talon Metals completes previously announced acquisition of London Mining's Eagle Mine and Humboldt Mill operations, creating a multi-asset U.S. nickel company. Nickel copper. Ooh, nickel copper. That's pretty good news. I like that. And guys, remember, this is London Mining, not London Gold. There's two separate IPOs there. But yeah, not bad news. Not bad news at all. All right. Larry says Daily Journal up from $275 original, but to $610. I still think it's worth $1,500. The market doesn't know true stock value. I do. Larry's like the E.F. Hutton of stocks, and of course, hopefully, I don't know if people even know who E.F. Hutton is anymore, but there used to be that thing like when E.F. Hutton talks, everybody would go quiet, and I think there was commercials where you'd have E.F. Hutton say something and everything, all noise would instantly stop. But anyway, Brian says, what are you using for your spreadsheet? It looks impressive. I created my own in Open Office, but it took a while and not as detailed with ROI, etc. that you have. So, oh yeah, so that spreadsheet, here, I'll pull it back up here. This is Excel. This is simply Excel. I went in. Now this here is actually an image. So this was an image. ChatGPT made the image. So, but yeah, it's just Excel and I have everything calculated. So the interesting thing, so market price here, that all gets pulled from this tab down here. It's my data tab. This is my data tab where it calculates all of the running prices. Now it has a 15-minute delay on it, so it's kind of the same as a lot of brokers. But yeah, I just put the companies in, and it has a formula. So you can sort of see up here. This is just price, but it's based off of this. So this here is going through. Within Excel, you have a data function that you can use for stocks, and you can pull up stocks. You just need to know, some of the, let's just say, as long as they're older stocks, the brand new ones. So right now, for example, CPCC, right over here, we do not yet have them. So once they are, I'll pull up my data and I'll come into stocks like this, and oh, guys, they have them now. So I can just drag this down and it'll give me the price, 23.23. Now I can come back over here and CPCC right over here. I'll just come in here to this data field. I'll delete it and I'll just put equals, go to my data page, and CPCC, where are you? Right here, and bang, boom. Now it is, and I'm also just going to format it very quickly, guys, just while we're here, to the darker green, because the lighter green means that I have to manually put it in. So like 60, 60 might be, anyway, guys, I'm not going to do this right now on the air. I just wanted to show you one. But yeah, that's how, and that's why I can pull things together, and it just does all my calculations for me. This way here, I know what my diversification is over here. I got my stakes in here. So right now, so RMAX, let's see here, T-cash, well, that's just a cash position. I don't count that. But RMAX right now is one of my, I think it might be my highest. Nope, it's not. CNQ. CNQ actually is my highest. So right now my portfolio is, well, the 0 to 100K challenge is 9.21% CNQ. So what can I say? That's actually, I didn't realize it was that high. That's because CNQ was down for so long, and I was just adding to CNQ while they were down. But anyway, there we go. All right. Good afternoon, everyone, says Patrick. Someone buy a $5 super chat. I can't, says Ian. Oh no. Oh boy. Yeah, Ian is of course in Colombia, and there's some issues with pesos, and it's not even issues with the pesos. I think it's an issue with just where he's located, that it's not letting him do it. Paul gives the 1-minute warning. Yep. I missed that. I missed that completely. Michael Music says, was gonna do my TFSA purchase today, but with everything I want up so high, I'll wait for Monday or Tuesday. Yeah, there's no hurry, guys. You know, if something is like absolutely mooning, yeah, there's nothing wrong with waiting and, looking for your opportunities, for sure. Nothing wrong with that. The bell. Lily's in the house with a hello, everyone. And of course, the Financial Express, guys, is still active. So towards a Monday show right now, we have one of the four. So we're a quarter of the way there. The bell, yep. 1.97% Green Day, nice. The bell, tangent alert, ADHD. I can get so focused on a tangent. I can really get focused on the tangent. So yeah, I got to be a little more diligent, not getting, I should make a rule. No tangents until after the bell. Just no matter what, no tangents. Doorpat says, hi all, even with the new announcement with Oklo today, Meta is still sideways this year. Meta and Amazon, wake up. I agree. Wake up, guys. All right. Lisa says, I regret my BCE and TELUS positions, but it is what it is. Just wondering if I should expect more drops. Sounds like you think things will improve slowly, so maybe I will add a bit more next week. Yeah, I do think it'll go slowly. I'm not excited to grab any though, but you know, Muggsy is in the house. I'll laugh my ass off. Better get a timer for the bell. It's like I need a bell to remind me it's time to do the bell. That's what I need, a bell for the bell. Then I'll probably need a bell to remind me to set the bell for the bell. How many bells were we going to have? Actually, a reoccurring bell. If I had a reoccurring bell that went off like at 1 minute to 4 every day, or at least weekdays, that might work. All right. Erwin says, hello, new sub here. Just finished watching growth and income video. Good info. Hey, and you found the live stream this fast. So congratulations and thank you. Thank you for joining the community. This is a great group of people. I think you're going to love it here. And yeah. And we got lots more great content as well. So yeah, also, oh guys, with today's video, I'm going to do a second one of those as well because there's still more sectors I want to explore. And there's also a couple more categories I want to look at too. So one of them will be international. So you guys know I'm kind of excited about Inti. Obviously, using the format of today's video, Inti would have to be, it would have to be the wild card because it hasn't even come out yet. So I don't even know if it can be a wild card. Is there like a wild card in waiting for a wild card? But, Inti's supposed to come out on the 15th, so that's going to look interesting. Lisa says I added to my Amazon position today. Nice. Rokvu says set up a smart plug with a lamp plugged in that will turn on at 3:59 to remind you. That's what I need. That's what I need. Or even the new A who is in here, the A word. I think she could probably, well, the only problem is she would actually probably, you know what, that's actually kind of, would you guys find that funny if the A word would sort of pipe in at 1 minute 2 to give me a quick, just interrupt whatever I'm saying and just to say, hey, Candace, remember the bell. That might be funny. That might be funny. I'll try to remember to do that because even if we just try it for one show and we'll see, we'll see. Well, if we have a Monday show, I'll do it for Monday, but otherwise then Wednesday. Hopefully we have a Monday show though. Like I said, I'm kind of enjoying spending all this time with you guys. Paul says TELUS did get to $6 a share in 2000 or so. Okay, yeah. When you look, when we look at some of these companies, so let's look at TELUS right now. There we go. So TELUS right now, 18.59. I'm going to go out to their 10-year. And actually, let's go to their 15-year. So you have to look, when you look at where they are right now, the last time they were here is, back here. All the way back here. This here was back in 2016. They had a little drop down there. And I don't actually know what event happened then that caused such a quick, big, deep spike. It sort of reminds me, like if you look at this spike over here, this massive drop right here, this was the pandemic. So yeah, something pretty big happened in 2016. I don't know exactly what it was though. Not off the top of my mind. I normally don't look back this far, but this one over here, well, no, this is 2013. We have to go further back. I was going to say, let's go 20 years. Let's go 20 years here. Yeah, here it is. This here, guys, going back 20 years, this is that whole housing crisis of 2008, right in there. There we go. That's if we go really, really far back. All right, Paul says, TELUS had a press release that the CEO and executive team all bought shares in Q4. Nice. Jonathan says, ASML is fire or rocket ship. Let's take a look at ASML. ASML, here we go. All right, ASML. Let's go. We'll go to the US version. So they're up 6.66%. Ooh, that's kind of evil. But yeah, they had, look at this. This is a big jump today. because they had started, well, yeah, look at this. They went down and then they went right back up all in one day. I'm going to pull up the 1 year on him. Yeah, they're doing pretty good. Of course, once again, guys, this here is another chip maker. So let's see here. Based in the Netherlands, manufacturing, yeah, basically the lithography, there we go, system. So pretty good. Semiconductors, all of that fun stuff. Why Video says about the telecoms. I like to diversify geographically. I have some in the USA, South Korea, and Latin America. Okay, that's a way to get around the Canadian ones for sure. Yeah, I think most people don't diversify as much geographically as they probably should. So that's not a bad way to go. Why? Paul says, can you get an alarm app for your Mac that is silent but flashes the screen red or green to remind you of the bell? I don't know. Probably. There's probably something. I'll figure it out because yeah, I don't want to. I keep missing. It's my tangents. And you guys know, all you got to do. I'm so easy to distract. Just give me a tangent. I'm like a cat. It's like, just show me a little ball and throw it, and I'm off. I'm off for sure. Let's see. Why says Paul, I like TELUS, but I think it's dangerous if they don't grow as much as expected. Scott, I wanted to research Remetal BMO has a CDR, but I was having trouble researching it. Oh, I don't know a lot about, let's see, Rhine. Is it, yeah, Rhine Metal. Interesting. I don't know anything about them. Let's see. I am curious, though, if I can actually find them. Here we go. Rhine Metal. Here we are. Oh, Rhine Metal right here. Okay. All right. Here we go. So their ticker RNMFB. Interesting. Let's pull up a year. Let's take a look. All right. So they've been moving a little bit sideways for most of the year, but, they're still, I mean, they're an expensive stock for sure. And let's see here. Uh-oh. Are they a weapons? Are they a weapons stock? Let's see. The company normally operates through vehicle systems, weapon and ammunition, electronic solutions, and power system segments. Okay. So yeah, it looks like they would be, it looks like they could be a company that would do well with some of the push to increase defense. And of course, Trump just announced that he's planning on taking the U.S. Defense budget up big time to what, 1.5 trillion or something? Something crazy, yeah. So, companies like this, it's not a bad thing. Now, I will also say right now is, you know what? There are some of you who are like, nope, I don't care how much I can make. Nope, not investing in weapons. And that's perfectly fine. You can definitely avoid weapons for sure. There's nothing wrong with ethical investing. Nothing wrong with it at all. And there's so many good ethical investments out there that you can still be very profitable avoiding some of these more hot sectors, I guess. Scott says, I created a Google Sheet example for investments using Google Finance to update. I can share if you want. So yeah, Google Finance, that's another way to do it as well. So yeah, it was actually interesting. I'll tell you somebody who is really good with Google Finance as well. If you guys know Jordan from, I think it's, what's his channel called? Cover Call ETFs. I think it's Cover Call ETFs or Cover Call Investing. Oh my gosh. And I should know this off the top of my head. Gosh, anyway. He's very good with Google Finance. I am very good with Excel. So, and there's part of me that's like, it's actually funny because when initially I didn't realize I could pull stock data on Excel, and I don't think you could a couple of years ago. So I knew that you could do it on Google Finance, Google Sheets, and I was like, is this going to force me to trade to move to Google Sheets? But luckily it hasn't, because I know a lot about Excel and I'm very comfortable in Excel. Larry says, Supreme Court tariff ruling moved to the 14th. Will have to change my opinion on some things depending on the ruling. Yes, so that ruling that everybody was expecting for today on the tariffs, that is not happening today. The Supreme Court has said, nope, not today. Why videos? Unfortunately, my version of Excel doesn't have live stocks data. I use an add-on stock connector. Oh, really? Mine is just the one from Open. They've got like a, what is that, Office 365? Muggsy says, Candace, do you share your spreadsheet? I can make the formulas all available. I mean, this one here, I don't, because I sort of keep track of a lot of things on it. So, for example, just to show you guys, on this here, I keep track. So I've got this is my new dividend spreadsheet, so I can keep track of dividends. Those are all my old dividends in here. I got a whole bunch of data in here. These are just things that I have sold and rebalancing, so I can keep track of that as well. And of course, this is just some of the pure data from the fund, like the total returns and all of this other stuff. And I also keep track of, what's going on financially. So I got a whole bunch of stuff in here, but the main page, I could probably create a version of it that I could share. That would have still all of the same functionality without having to worry about all of the other stuff. So I could certainly do something like that. Just give me some time to get that done, of course. Brian says, let me move that out of the way. I am using the free open office. I don't think I can pull data from the market. I have 30 or more linked pages that I have linked data to do a main sheet. Manual update on statements, dividend focus. Okay. Oh, interesting. Interesting. All right. And guys, I noticed here. Can I? All right. I was just trying to. All right. I was trying to see something here, but anyway, here's what I noticed, guys. Mary is in with a $1.49 super sticker, so that is fantastic. Thank you very much, Mary. And that is goat number 2. Goat number 2. So we are halfway to a Monday show, so that's pretty cool. All right. Now, I think coming up next, once again, thank you, Mary. I think coming up we have a. Let me go in here. I think we have a QQQ. I just got to find it now. Danielle. It was Danielle. All right. Your honest opinion on CPCC. I tried finding out the percentage of covered calls because I think the growth is important for copper. All right. All right. Well, I like CPCC. I have added it to the 0 to 100K challenge, and I'm very, very happy with what I've seen thus far. But all right, I think I'm feeling it's 33%, but let's double check. Let's double check right now. All right, we'll go here. So Google CPCC, and that is that's a global X. All right, here we go. We'll pull this up. Here we go. CPCC. So a lot of times when you want to find that out, most times it'll be in the very, very beginning section here. All right, so let's see here. Can earn, let's see, design helps smooth churns. All right, and it's actually not telling us in here, but then I always go in and take a look, and here we go, down here. So in the portfolio metrics right here, look at this, average coverage right here. So this is the average percent of the fund's asset for which options are written. And right now the average is about 26.05%. So that's a little bit less than 33. So that's a beautiful thing. Like I think when they announced it, they said up to 33%. So if it's lower, that means they're looking at it and saying, you know what, there's a lot of growth in there right now. Let's just keep it a little bit lower so people can enjoy a bit more of that growth. But at this point now, it is 26.05%. That's been the average. Now, mind you, they haven't been out that long. But yeah, you'll always find that information on the page for the ETF. And I know I have not done it yet. I need to, you know what, guys? I need to create a little folder up here on top in my in my favorites that I can put all of these ones that we look at all the time on it. And here, I'm just gonna, can I just do that? Yeah, new folder. I'm gonna put this on, you know what? I'm gonna put this, let's just call it, I'm gonna call it Mountain Finance ETFs. There we go, ETFs, bang, there we go. It's right there, and I'm gonna grab this Global X, and I'm just going to drop it in there. There we go. CPCC. Perfect. There we go. Every time you guys have me go to one of these, I'm going to add it here. So that way there, I don't have to look it up anymore. I can just go to my MFETFs and pull it up. There we go. I don't know why I haven't done that yet, but now I have. Thank you, Danielle. Thank you. Larry says, so many new anime coming out. So glad Sony bought out a lot of companies. Interesting. And actually funny, interesting story, guys. One of the first anime to actually make it kind of big over here in North America happened back in the 70s. It was a little show called, well, in Japan, it was called Space Battleship Yamato. And it came over here. Of course, they Americanized it and made it into a show called Star Blazers. But that was one of the first successful big movements. And of course, after that, you got like, was it Astro Boy? And then you started getting into all of the other ones, the big explosion that followed. But that was one of the first of the big ones out there. Anyway, just a quick tangent on anime. All right, Brian says, if you want to have no tangents before the market close, start the stream at 3:58. I have to start the stream at the bell. It's like the stream goes live to ding, 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 ding. Welcome to the market close. We're closed. That's what I'd have to do, Brian. It is funny. Rory, hi. I also use Open Office for my holdings, book value, market value, adjusted cost base, ROE, and a spreadsheet that tracks dividends. Nice. I could probably have like an alarm on my watch that just vibrates. So that's not a bad, sorry, let's put up Muggsy first. That's not a bad idea. Brian wants to know if you've created your own, Rory. And of course, there's about the Financial Express. We're halfway there. We're halfway there, guys. Rory, yes, I built my own spreadsheet and holdings using the software. And you know what? And now, just so we know, you can, if you don't know how to do something, and this is a greatest time, like in the olden days, if I didn't know how to do something on like Excel, I'd have to Google it. And then I would have to go through site upon site upon site and try to look at what people are saying and try to adapt whatever code or formulas they're using so that it works for me. Now, guys, it's really easy. If you don't know how to do something in Excel or Google Sheets, all you have to do is open up your AI and say, hey, can you give me a formula that does this? Most times they'll give you a formula that may very well work. You might have to tinker it a little bit, but it'll save you a lot of the work. Erwin says, get Will Smith to ring the closing bell. I know, but I'd be so worried. What if I told a joke that accidentally insulted his wife? I could get hit. I'm not just saying. Will Smith, that would be funny. It's like, yeah, Will Smith can't get it. That's the best job he could get, was coming to Mountain Finance to ring the bell. Rory, I just changed the market price and everything's auto with the math. Nice. Claude says, I still have doubts. Even if you set an alarm, 1 minute seems still too far away for the bell. It takes 10 seconds to get distracted. I know. Brian, yes, I intend to do mine manually based on the monthly statement that shows all purchase and dividends, etc. No ROI. Scott, can you tell... Scott, you almost got me. You almost got me. I almost said the A word. Oh boy, that's hilarious. Oh, Scott, you have just earned the second half of your name. You've definitely earned it. Oh boy. Rory says, each stock I own, I have 12 subcategories to track it/them. All right, nice. What do you think of Netflix? Maybe too shaky to get in even at this price with all the doubts with the acquisition of WB. I think they're a little bit. I think they're a little bit less shaky today than they were about a week ago. I heard some talk. I think I saw a news story the other day that the WB was not too keen on the Paramount offer. So Netflix might still be in the running. So that, to me, I think that would be good for Netflix overall. So it could be very, very interesting to sort of see how that's going to roll out. But um, I'm not ready to gamble on Netflix because, until it's a sure deal, obviously. It could go either way, but it's looking like they might actually pull it off. I would like to see Netflix do it. I would love to see that, to be honest. Larry says ASML makes the great machine. Larry, did you see the Veritasium video on ASML? Veritasium, that's a great channel, guys. That's a channel I watch a lot. It's science content, but if you do like science, Veritasium, they got a lot of great content there. A lot of great content on the Veritasium channel. Larry, let's see. No, I originally bought ASML in the 360s during the Bitcoin crash, sold in the 1100s. My new average is 610. Nice. Let's see. I have no clue how to use Google or Excel. Okay, fair enough. I have multiple giant whiteboards I do all my calculations on. All right, so that's like old school, but it works. It works. Claude, Perry has a monster spreadsheet. Okay. I haven't actually seen his spreadsheet. I know Perry is out there, and I've been on some email threads where Perry has been on them as well, but I haven't really, I think I've only maybe watched one of his videos. It's kind of that thing when you're in the space, I don't always have time to watch everybody's videos, but, I know I am looking, actually, I was talking briefly to Gary Gill. I want to get him on the channel. He actually wants to get me on his channel at the same time. Well, probably two separate events, but that's probably something we're going to talk about in the next, I would say by the end of January, hopefully. Rory says, Candace, your 0 to 100K chart is similar to mine, except I use dark mode and different holdings, of course. Yeah, there we go. Scott says, we're off to outer space. Protect, yes. Yes, Star Blazers. Protecting Mother Earth to save the human race. Our Star Blazers. There we go. They actually, now, Japan did a live action version of it called, of course, I think they just called it Space Battleship Yamato. It was actually really good. Now, this was about, oh my gosh, I think it was like 10 years or so that they did it, but really good special effects. There are dubbed versions of it out there. I liked it. I mean, they made some changes from the original anime, obviously, to push it all into a 1-hour movie, but it was still pretty good. All right, we have, we got Claude, but here, just give me 1 second. First, I gotta jump to Brian. Brian's got a $1 super sticker in there, and guys, that's goat number 3. That puts us one away from a Monday show. So there we go. One super or one gifted sub, and we'll be doing this again on Monday. Claude says, I read there are still some doubts, even if they succeed the deal because of the large debts WB has. Yeah, that's always going to be a concern. But I think overall, I think it would make Netflix into a much more competitive than they already are. Because you got to look. I mean, Netflix is good. Netflix is definitely good, but I'd like to see them do more. Like you take Disney Plus. Disney Plus now, they now have Hulu, and that's certainly going to help them. And Netflix, a lot of their big shows too have are kind of finished. Like Stranger Things is done. Um, we'll see how this is all going to turn out. Obviously, for me, I mean, I look at the whole streaming. I look at the whole streaming thing, and I'm just like, I'm not willing to really go. I wouldn't invest in any of them, to be honest, just because, you know, a lot of them are struggling just to make money. There's a lot of them are struggling, so I don't know. I wouldn't invest in any of them personally. Um, the Epic Coder. Let's see. If Wealthsimple Quest Trade goes bankrupt or closes, what happens to our investments? Good question. Good question. So, for one, if they were going out of business, they would have to, of course, they do have to give you back your investments. They can't just sort of say, sorry guys, all the money's gone, bye. And if they did, there is insurance on there. So CDIC is one form of insurance. So, there is insurance on your investments. So if something like that happened, you're going to get money back. You'll get, depending on, and here's that thing, like I think CIDC, guys, and correct me if I'm wrong, I can't remember the exact numbers, but I think that they now provide like $1 million. So if you've got more than $1 million, some people will actually break it into multiple brokers for the simple reason that they want to make sure they've got CDIC coverage on every single broker. That way all of their money is completely 100% covered. Because if you have, let's say you had $2 million sitting in Wealthsimple and something really bizarre, like I think Wealthsimple is solid. I don't think they're going to go bankrupt. But let's just say they just disappeared. Like they just went completely bankrupt somehow. I don't know how it would happen, but if you had 2 million sitting in there and CDIC only covered $1 million, then yeah, you could potentially lose $1 million in that situation. I don't see it happening. Like Wealthsimple has a lot of backing. Power Corporation of Canada, for example, they're their majority backer. So I don't think they don't officially own them, but they, they very much play a major role in that, just in being the majority shareholder. So I would not be super worried. I'm not worried. Battle of the Planets. Yes. Well, that was Phoenix. They had the Phoenix, right? That ship. So yeah, that was another one. As well. GeForce. There we go. Brian said, I remember reading something that the stocks were $1 million, but not cash. That's a good question. That I don't know. I'd have to actually look at it. I know, for example, I believe their crypto wouldn't be covered by CDIC. I think there's other insurance involved in that. If you were holding, like, for example, Bitcoin on Wealthsimple. But here's the thing, guys, and I'll say this right now. I know that Wealthsimple and Shakepay, and they're all very, very stable, like if you're holding Bitcoin. But if you seriously have $1 million in Bitcoin, to me, it doesn't matter how stable those platforms are. I probably would be keeping it offline in a hardware wallet. I'm just saying. So that's kind of where I would sit on that. But yeah, stocks are safe. I don't know what their insurance, and I'll need to look that up. I kind of would like to know that. So I don't know what happens outside of stocks, because yeah, CDIC is, well, it covers your investments. It doesn't cover cash. Now, if you had cash in a cash ETF, yeah, that would be covered. It's just not if you had straight cash. So what would happen? That's a good question. What would happen to your money in like the Wealthsimple checking account? So that would be an interesting thing. I don't know how that falls. I don't know how that was worked in, because I haven't really looked at their insurance until, well, the last time I looked at it was quite a while ago, and now, of course, they have these new services. So that's something to look into. Let's see, a Canadian Investor Protection Fund, CIPF, up to $1 million per account, covering the firm's failure with Quest Trade. Wealthsimple also holding extra private insurance, your assets, stocks, bonds. So there we are. Oh, all right, CIPF. What was I calling it? CDIF. Yeah, CIPF. I stand corrected. Thank you, Brian. But yeah, I was right about the million though. So yeah, definitely. And like I always say, if you are holding things that are not traditional investments, then and you're okay with all of your ETFs and that, they're all fine. Those are all traditional. But if you're holding something bizarre, so another thing I would be interested to look at is the gold. The gold that you're holding with Wealthsimple. So where does that fit in? That I don't know. So I would have to figure that out, I think. Rory says, I'll move all my money to Fantasy Island. Boss, le plane, le plane. CDIC is for savings account. There we go. There we go. So there's where I was pulling the numbers from, the acronyms from. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, yeah. What can I say? Oh, gosh. Now I need a coffee. Oh, good. I have one. Oh, so good. So good. Oh, guys. And it's not even regular coffee. Jill added some herbs and spices to it, basically to give it a little bit of ginger. I think there's a little bit of pumpkin spice in here too. Very good. Very, very, very good. Brian says, don't do that, Rory. Trump will want the island for its resources. Well, yeah. Well, there's a lot of other islands in front of Fantasy Island, though. Uh, I think Greenland, then Cuba. And then I even heard rumors that he wants Colombia. So Ian, you may get to see the U.S. come in. Oh boy, hopefully not though. I think right now there's a lot of dissension even amongst MAGA. There's a lot of people sort of like, and I think I read something about there's going to be a vote in the House to sort of try to limit to try to pull Trump back a little bit, but we'll have to see how that all ends up going. Let's see, all the ladies and the drinks and the pool at Fantasy Island. There you go. But you get the bell. Yeah, they've got a bell too. I wonder if Tattoo was ever late to the bell. Just a thought. Just a thought. Yeah, we're one away, guys, from another show on Monday. Scott says KFC, 11 herbs and spices, the Colonel's own coffee. Yes. I don't even know if like this. I guess you could probably get coffee at KFC, but I don't know. The only thing I know about KFC is I don't know about you guys, and I don't know if it's still this way, but I know when I was a kid, anytime I would go into a mall area, if there was a KFC even a block away, that's all you could smell was the 7 herbs and spices or the chicken coming off of their little smokestack. So what can I say? What can I say? So yeah, that's kind of an interesting thing. Um, yeah. Anybody got anything interesting for the weekend? What are you guys? What are you guys doing? What are you doing? Just I'm just kind of curious. I kind of don't have much to talk about today, so I'm just sort of looking at it that way. Well, I do have this to talk about. We have a super sticker coming in from Zozo Trader for $2, and it's guess we have. Sorry, it's a super chat. Guess we have a show Monday, and it looks that way. Yes, so Monday is now a certainty. Goat number 4 has now made their appearance. We still have the Flash Goat, the Flash Dance Goat, and we still, of course, have the Secret Goat. But who knows? We're kind of chilling down now. It's as the weekend is starting to roll on in. Rory says planning to buy HOD below 520. So HOD, guys, oh boy, that's our inverse oil ETF. It's also leveraged 2x, but here, let's pull it up here. Let's just take a look. HOD, this is one of these Beta Pro ones. So Beta Pro crude oil inverse leveraged daily bear. Right now it's sitting at 548. So yeah, when oil is going up, this is going down. Hence the whole inverse part. Now, the big thing about this is, yeah, you've got 2x leverage on it, but it does get reset daily, so it can play with the math. Now, I did have somebody actually on my dangerous video today, somebody left a comment saying, it's not that bad if you're holding it long term. Theoretically. So we looked at how the math can sometimes get kind of wonky. So you can get a little bit of wonky math with these because of the resetting daily of that leverage. Now, if you held it long term, you could theoretically, you could do okay if kind of like the wonky math smoothed itself out over the long term. No guarantee that'll happen though. But yeah, I think in some cases there could be some situations, and I know people in the past who used to hold this just as their leverage against oil, so that way they had at least something going up when oil was coming down. I didn't think it was the best plan of action, and I still call these very dangerous. So if you don't know what you're doing, because they really are not designed for long-term holding, they're really designed for day trading. And that's kind of what Rory's planning to do. Get in at 520, ride it up, make some profits. All right. Brian says, my sister worked for KFC, but it was actually Scott's Chicken Villa that is under the KFC name. We're talking horse and buggy days in the 70s. Oh, that's a while back. Now, I don't think they were riding horses and buggies in the 70s. You get maybe the 1870s, but, But then again, I mean, I don't know how old your sister is. Maybe your sister is very well aged. We have goats in the machine. I love that. Goats in the machine. That's actually funny. That's a good play on Ghosts in the Machine. So what can I say? That's cool. I like it. Yeah, I'm looking at making... Oh, I was doing some research today, guys, on... Remember how we were talking about... well, our heat maps and how if there was anybody who would let us make a custom heat map. There isn't. As far as I know, I even had ChatGPT go out and look at a whole bunch of them. So none of them allow us to do the custom one if we wanted to do one just for ETFs. But, and this is the thing, ChatGPT seems to think that we could probably manually make one. I don't know if I've got the time to manually make one, but I might play around with it. So there was kind of of course, ChatGPT gets a little ambitious and gave me this big, what was it? A 4-phase plan on making it. I was saying, yeah, the chat would just enjoy it if we could have our own little watch list and have some heat maps. And then I get this 4-phase plan. So let's roll out phase 1 now. We'll roll out phase 4 or phase 2 in April. I'm just like, whoa, let's step back a little bit. I mean, AI is very useful, but I will tell you, AI can get very ambitious very fast. So when AI has a mind of its own, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, it could be very, very interesting. The world could be in for some really interesting stuff. I did watch just the robotics coming out of CES. Some of it is just absolutely cool. I did watch a robot dog. Now this wasn't coming out, and this wasn't even CES. This was Mr. Who's the Boss. He did sort of a review of some gadgets, and one of them was a robot dog. I think it was $3,000 for the dog. But this robot dog could actually do flips. And I watched it do a flip, and I was just like, what the? That's kind of crazy, but it's really, the world is changing, guys, really, really fast. So it could be a very interesting place in, in the past, I would say, oh, the world's going to be very interesting in 10 to 20 years. But now I'm like, the world's going to be very interesting in just a few years. It's definitely happening pretty darn fast. Scott says, I saw that on Black Mirror. I think I've maybe watched one episode of Black Mirror. And I know I would like Black Mirror. So sometimes there's a show that you know you're going to like, but you just don't do it. I don't know why. It just, it happens that way. What can I say? Oh, dear. All right. Oh, by the way, guys, I know I dropped my Blossom link earlier. I'm going to drop it one more time, and there's a reason for it. So if you, I don't currently have anybody for Sunday. So I have no reviews that I'm going to do on Sunday when it comes to portfolios. But if you want your portfolio reviewed on the air, just hook up with me on Blossom. Make sure that you've, either manually input your portfolio, or, you don't have to manually do it. You could also, you could link it if it's either Questrade or Wealthsimple. But if you do it, and if you want me to do your portfolio on Sunday, get it done like today or tomorrow. Message me tomorrow. As long as I get a message from one of you guys tomorrow, that'll give me enough time to take a look at it and see if there's anything there that I've never seen before. And then I can do up some preliminary research on it. So yeah, get that to me tomorrow if you want me to look at it. Otherwise, like I said, I'm good either way. I always have the content, but yeah. So that's over there on good old Blossom, and did I mention as well, if you're over there, follow me, because when I'm on Blossom, and I'll show you guys, I don't look at the main feed. So this here, by the way, the 0 to 100K challenge right in here. But yeah, from the homepage, I don't actually go through this feed at all. I just come up here to the people who are following me. And then I also, if you follow me, I will always follow you back. Oh, look at that. There's a couple people right there. Oh, there, Annie followed me, and Nima followed, and there we go. And these are new people who just followed me since yesterday. Because, maybe longer than yesterday, because look at this, we're going back. I think it didn't refresh because we did this yesterday. But yeah, just a couple new people in there. But I do like to go through here and look at the people who are following me, because those are the folks I want to look at. Oh, what's this? See, look here. I'm just looking at this, and this looks really interesting. I'm liking this beta feature in Wealthsimple for a weekly update. Okay, I haven't even looked at this yet. So now I know there's something in Wealthsimple I want to take a look at. So what can I say? All right. Rory says AI moves faster than Mark Carney on make a decision on pipelines. Well, and keep in mind though, it's a pretty complicated process. Like, Mark Carney can't say we're making a pipeline. He can open up the doors. He can, remove the red tape. He can put everything in order, but it still comes down to a company has to come in and say, yeah, we'll make it. So there's a lot of moving parts, for sure. Let's see here. Tom says, you think Tesla will hit 42 next week? That's a good question. I really would love to see a bit of a rebound on Tesla, because I know both me and Tom we both have swing trades going on Tesla, and we're kind of stuck in them at the moment. So I'm hoping, like a lot of, I think of a lot of the stuff that pulled Tesla down this week. I think a lot of those fears in investors should kind of peter out next week. So maybe I'm going to put that as a maybe, but I'm going to approach next week as well with well, here, let me just show you something. All right. Oh, actually, let's just do it right here. I don't have to actually draw it on a whiteboard at the moment, but and we're going to go with this one here, because this is the prices that we were talking about. So this here is the CDR for Tesla. So the numbers are a little bit lower. So Scott's hoping for a 42. So 42 is back up here as we move back to where we were in this little channel. So right now we're kind of looking to set up, like, we don't really have a channel at this moment. It's kind of like a little over here. Are we going to get back into this channel? Keep in mind, to get back in this channel, let me just pull something here. We would need more than 42 to get back in the channel, because it was an upsloping channel. So at this point, to get back in the channel, we would kind of need to get up to 45 to get back in this channel. So I think this channel is dead. It's dead. It's over. It's not going to happen. We need to find a new channel. So getting back to 42, though, can we do it? Maybe. I'm hoping so. Like, let me just collapse things a little bit here. There we go. I just want to collapse things a little bit. And here, I just want one more. I want a new line. I want a new line. There we go. I'm just going to bring this in here. So we got a few different things at play in here. So if you notice right here, so we got a little bit of movement here. We got a little bit of movement here. So this here is setting itself up to be a nice support. That I like. So this is one of the nice things about it right now. So I think we do have a chance of bouncing. Even if we came back down, I think we have a good chance to bounce back up. Can we bounce up to 42? I don't know. I hope so. But what I will do is I'm going to pay attention to the movement of Tesla next week. If we get another week like this, so right now, and I can't remember where my entry point is, but I will do, and this here I actually will use a whiteboard. All right, let's see here. What is this? Dividend. Yeah, this is a whiteboard. So I'm just going to use some numbers here. I don't know what my actual numbers are, guys, off the top of my head on this one. But let's just say, I bought in at 42. I'm just going to use 42. So if my average cost base is 42, and for a swing, I need it to be above that to make money. So if I've got a situation where Tesla is going down and it looks like it's a consistent thing, so let's just say, for example, and I don't know, what is Tesla at right now? 30, let's say 39. So let's say Tesla's sitting at 39. But it looks like it's going down. It looks like there's some momentum here, and I can easily see it's probably going to go down to 37. Well, if I can see that happening on the charts, one of the things I might do is I may actually sell. I may actually sell here. And you'll be like, oh no, you're taking a loss. Well, not entirely. Yes, on paper, I'm taking a loss. But my goal with selling here is then to buy back in at 37. And this is, like I said, if my TA shows me this is what's happening, I'll do that. And all of a sudden, my 42 break-even point, well, look, I just sold, I basically just stripped $2 out of it. So my new break-even spot is now 40. So that's one of the things I will look at doing if we got movement, if we got some clear movement. And for me to see clear movement next week, let's just pull this back to here. See this support? If it breaches the support and starts going down, that's where I would be playing something like that. So just as an example, that's kind of the way I'll approach Tesla next week. But I'm not expecting to have to do that. I'm not expecting this to break. I am expecting we might get a retracement and then a move back up. That's kind of what I'm expecting. I don't know about 42 next week. I'm hoping because I certainly would like to get out. And actually, where am I at? I don't think 42 is where I'm at in my Tesla trade. I have to sort of take a quick gander here. All right, I'm just quickly opening up and see where am I at. Oh yeah, so I'm at 40.8614. That's where I'm at. So heck, I'd be happy with 41. At 41, I would get out, wait for a new channel so I know what Tesla is doing, and then I would. And that's the thing I will do when I break out of a channel like this. I will usually just wait till I'm back in the profit. I'll get out. I'm not worried about the normal amount of profit I'm after. Not worried about it. That's off the table. I just want to get out and then wait until I have a channel so I know what's going on. And that's kind of like here, like you can sort of see here with Tesla, look at this. We had this beautiful channel here for the longest time. Then it broke out. I waited, even though, yeah, we had a little bit of movement in here. I did play a little bit of here, but for the most part, I was waiting to get back into a channel. Up here, we got our channel. Now I'm waiting for a new channel. And it might be, just looking at this, maybe we get a channel that comes down. Maybe we get a descending channel out of here. Maybe we do. I'll play that if we do, for sure. All right. Y video says, I'm wondering what would happen with the CIPF if one or more of the big 6 banks fail. Should I open an account with another bank anyway if my accounts with TD exceeds 1 million? I will say this right now: if one or two of the Canadian big 6 were to fail, that's oh boy, we got bigger problems than losing $1 million. Much bigger problems. The Canadian banking system is really, really designed well. The guy, and even if, let's just go down worst case scenario, even if it looked like banks were going to fail in the big six, the government will prop them up. The government will prop them up. They'll print money to prop them up if they have to. But yeah, our big six is, though, here's the beautiful thing. They're very, very resilient. I don't think there's any danger of any of them failing in the next year, next 2 years. And like I said, if our big banks start failing, we got some really serious problems on our hand. I don't think even during the financial crisis, 2008, our banks were fine. I mean, did they? Well, I mean, they had some problems from it. They had, they fell, but it wasn't a situation where they, they were in any kind of remote danger at all. It was just like, yeah, okay, the economy sucks for a bit. That's kind of the way it goes with our banks. These banks have been through everything. Most of our banks have been around to go through both world wars. Maybe not National Bank, but they've been, at one point, our banks used to have their own money too, which is kind of an interesting thing. I don't know if any of you guys can remember, but like Scotiabank, well, Bank of Nova Scotia at that point, you used to be able to have Bank of Nova Scotia dollars. That's a really long throwback, and I don't remember them personally, but I know I seen pictures of I wonder, actually, guys, let's see if I can find a picture of a Bank of Nova Scotia dollar. All right. Bank of Nova Scotia dollar. All right, let's see. Oh, there's one. Right there. I'm going to pull up my images. Yeah, here we go, guys. Here's a $100 bill from the Bank of Nova Scotia. So, yeah, they used to have their own currency. Brian says, after I update my spreadsheet, after I get December statement, I'll make some changes to my portfolio and maybe update them to Blossom. Okay, cool. Scott says, my Blossom is boring. Scott, make it less boring. Make a provocative post or something. I can understand. Yeah, I mean, finances tend to be boring and overall. One thing I do need to do, guys, I do need to post a lot more on Blossom. I am bad. Well, I've just got so much on the go all the time, but I do need to post more, and I'm gonna try to start doing that. And guys, interact with them, and I'll interact back. It'll be fun. There we go. There'll be my next New Year's resolution, is to try to post more on Blossom. Brian says, I only signed into Blossom 2 or 3 times. And Scott says, the only thing I have on Blossom are my income investments, and it's about 12% of my investments. Okay, fair enough. Hello, what are your predictions for MSTE recovery, if any? All right, so here's the nice thing about MSTE. I actually still have them here. MSTE. Oh gosh, not today. I was going to say, they had been having a pretty good week up until today. Today they're down 6.35%. Down to 4.57. I was really hoping they could get back to 5. I was hoping, but at the same time, Bitcoin, look at Bitcoin today. Oops, I have to go up here. So Bitcoin was also kind of struggling a little bit today here. Where's Bitcoin? Right over here. But not as much as MSTE. Bitcoin was only down 0.72, so it's still sitting at 90,375. So yeah, MSTE, I mean, I know there's some finance YouTubers out there that love MSTE. Well, you guys know Adriano's a big fan. Gary Gill's a big fan. I think they're a bit too aggressive for my liking. The loss in upside potential, when you're looking at some of the calls on that one, definitely not to my liking, and the fact that we have so much volatility almost works against them at the same time. So I'm not a huge fan. I'm not a huge fan of MSTE. But with that being said, Michael Saylor's playing an interesting game with strategy. So, and this is the thing. So in a way, it's not so much MSTE, other than the fact that they did choose to be as aggressive with the covered calls. But all the other companies are being aggressive with strategy as well. So one of the problems, and this is kind of one big fundamental problem with MSTE, is that once we get to a point that Bitcoin gets a lot more stable, a lot less volatile, well, it will have a sort of a trickle-down effect in that if you lose volatility on MSTE, they won't be able to charge as much for the options, so the premiums would be lower. So that would cause the dividend to fall. Now, mind you, right now the dividend is falling for a different reason. It's falling simply because of the crash in price of strategy. And there is, there's the whole thing of how Michael Saylor is raising money. We got the convertible bonds, all of that fun stuff. That is creating extra pressure to the downside. But at the same time, long term, I think in the end, I think his plan will work in the end. But, and this is what I'll always say, it's going to be a rough ride to the end. But I think on the other side of all of this, when, by the time Bitcoin is, not this cycle, like this cycle, I think Bitcoin, maybe this year, Bitcoin might get up to 150 at least once. But after we go through a crypto winter, so maybe in 2027, so the next cycle I would say will probably be like in 2028, 2029. I could see Bitcoin breaking well above 200,000, maybe even getting to 250,000. At that point, MSTE will be, I think they'll be worth a lot more than they're worth now. So, there is hope. There is hope. It's just you're gonna have to knuckle it. You're gonna have to diamond hand knuckle it through that if you're, and keep short. And also, here's the other thing too, and this is one of the things I'll say. So even though I think, yeah, long term you're probably going to be okay, if you're that type of person that can't, that's going to lose sleep over watching your investments being in the pooper for so long, you're better off to not even try. You're better off to stay away from it. But if you can manage all of that volatility and you're okay with it, then I think you'll be fine on the other side. But mind you, the other side could be a year. It could be more than a year out. It could be a year and a half. We'll have to see. There might be some chances for you to get out this year. I mean, if we do get that pump in Bitcoin up to 150, that might be your opportunity to get out in the green for the people who are waiting to get out. All right. Rory says Gary Gill is live right now. No one is in there. Oh no, poor Gary. That's hilarious. I wonder, guys, this could be funny. I don't think I can get in trouble for this, but let's do it. let's just take a peek in on Gary. Let's take a peek in, and we'll see how it's going. All right, I need to leave me first of all. There we go. We're gonna leave me, and we're gonna see if I can see. Where are you at, Gary? Where are you at here? Gary, where's Gary at? All right, let's pull up Gary. I've never tried this before. All right, he's got 15 folks over there. All right, let's do this. All right, here we go. I've got him on mute at the moment. But yeah, so Gary is live. This is crazy. All right. Hi, Gary. Me and my live stream are just peeking in to say hi. All right, and let me see if I can get, there we go. I'm gonna pull this up here. I don't think I can hear him. Guys, can you hear Gary? Let me know if you can hear Gary. I don't think, I can't hear him. I can't for some reason. What the heck? Let me just double check here. Oh, unmute tab. Here we go. I'm just, this could just be a little funny thing, guys. So I'm going to have some coffee here. He's talking about MSTR. That's kind of funny. I don't. This is kind of like, it's kind of like two live streams at the same time. Kind of funny. It's going good. There we go. I just. All right. Let me. All right. I'm gonna mute. I'm gonna mute Gary here for a moment. There we go. So I just thought, yeah, like I said, I just sent him another little message just to say that I thought it would be funny just to to do it. But what can I say? All right. All right. We're gonna leave. We'll leave Gary alone. We'll leave Gary alone. And back to Tom. So with Tesla, I'm in at 38.39, looking to sell at 40. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So you'll be selling just as I'm looking to put in that stop loss, pretty much. Rory says, "Ooh, 50 views, 50 likes, nice." But keep in mind, we kind of, we had a lot more viewers earlier, so the 50 likes. I wonder. I bet you. Well, you never know. I mean, because the people who are still here, you guys are the hardcore. You guys are like the hardcore folk. So they may all belong to you. They may all belong to you guys. Ian says, other than an old pension, everything I have is with Wealthsimple. What happens if Wealthsimple fails? Doubt it could happen. Yeah, I doubt it could happen too. I would be surprised. Lisa says, please post more on Blossom Candace. I will. Like I said, it's something I definitely want to do. Like realistically, I should have at least a post a week. At least. I mean, I'm an ambassador over there. So guys, I need to be posting more. So I know this and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Kevin Cass. Hi, Candace and gang. I've been trading LAR this week with small day trades. Just wondering if you could have a look and see if if you have an opinion, or just have a look and if would have an opinion on this in terms of more long-term investment. Okay, so LAR, actually going to go over here. I'm going to go over here. Let's take a look. Only because I can draw on here. So LAR, I assume we're talking, are we talking lithium? Lithium Argentina? That seems to be the, we also have large type. Lithium Argentina or large type. In this case here, you know what? Let's stick with Canada. I'm going to grab, hold on. I have to get rid of one. I'm on the free version, so it makes me get rid of people. All right, we can get rid of MDA, and I don't need VFE in here anymore. We'll get rid of VFE. There we go. I got rid of 2. Now, let's pull up LAR once again. Whoops, LAT. LAR, here we go. Large type. All right, large type. Let's take a gander here. All right, okay, let's see. What do we got? I'm just gonna make this all try to make this a little bigger. All right, come on, there we go. All right, just so that we can sort of see what's going on here. Okay, so let's see here. Oh, this is interesting. I don't know how much I have to. I'm going to double check. I'm going to double check here. I just want to zoom to the end to see here if you put down if I'm on the right one, because this one looks a little bit complicated. Not complicated, but it doesn't look as straightforward. So I hope we're on the right one, Danny. I hope this is the one that you're looking at. All right, so let's take a look here and see if we got any kind of things that we can play with. So I'm looking here. I want to try something here. I'm going to see here. All right, whoops. Let's bring this over here. Could we have, well, it's a little bit of a colliding channel. So there is that possibility that you might have this, actually it could even be up like this. It might even be up, but then again, we don't have that second spot. So it could be, we could have a channel starting. We could, but once again, I think I need more. Oh, Lithium Argentina. Okay. All right, good. Good. All right, guys. All right, I'll get rid of these off of this one. LAR. Bye. All right, let's go to the right one. Lithium Argentina, LAR. All right, here we go. Lithium Argentina. Let's go. Lithium Argentina. There we go. I think they're here now. All right, here we go. Lithium Argentina. Oh, boy. So let's take a look here. Actually, I just want to see a little bit of where they've been. All right, so, okay, we got a little bit of a movement to the upside. We got a movement this way. Now we got a bit of a sideways motion. All right, perfect. I just wanted some context there. Give me a second here. I'm going to try to, there we go. Boom, ba-dum, bum. I want to see, oh, guys. All right, come on, let's give me a bit. I definitely need a new mouse. All right, I'm going to take a look here. So I've got a couple of things here starting to develop. When it comes to, oh boy. So when it comes to this one here, and I'm going to just match this out here a little bit. There we go. We don't have a channel. We actually have a pattern. So as you know, I have said I love channels. I'm not a big fan of patterns because typically what this means here is that, we're probably looking at, right now, from this pattern, it looks like we have an imminent movement out of the pattern, obviously. So it might be, for example, you might have a break up here to about 768. Or, and this is the problem, it's just as likely here, Command C, Command V, there we go. It's just as likely, I think, on this one. Well, it's hard to say. You could have a breakdown. And now there are some people that say that you could call it a pennant as well. And people who are very bullish, and this is kind of, they could say, oh, well, look, it could go the whole length of the pole, in which in that case, you're looking at like all the way up here. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't subscribe to the whole pole because odds are it usually is that length that you normally will see. You might see the pole, but I think if you're going to play it. Now, in this situation here, it's kind of an interesting thing. I think it's going to boil down to whatever type of, oh boy, I don't know if I would play this one. I don't know if I would play this one. So it's kind of an interesting thing. I think it could go either way. I don't have, it's kind of like, you could look at it like they have been on an upward trend. Yes, that's going in their favor. That probably would push the upper limit as more probable. But at the same time, this is not really a correction. This feels like a little bit of a consolidation, but it could very easily go down. And that's what I would be concerned about this one. So yeah, and you've been playing it all week, but look at this. These are all easy plays. Personally, honestly, on this one, I probably would sit back and let it break and then look at what I got after the break and then try to play it from there. But keep in mind, I like a little more certainty in my plays. And this is one of these ones where I don't like it. I don't like it at all. So I would be a little careful on this one, Danny. Hopefully, like I think there might be a slightly So like if I were to try to put percentages on this, I would be like 54% chance it goes up, 46% chance it goes down. And those are odds I don't like. I don't like those odds on this one. So be careful with this one for sure. Zenial says raid Gary. So yeah, that's what you can do over on Twitch. You can actually raid somebody where I could take all of you guys at the end of my raid. If Gary was still on, we could go into Gary's and just drop you guys there. That's kind of fun. We don't do that we don't have that ability on YouTube though, but that would be fun. You know, Twitch does have a lot of fun things, but keep in mind too, the overall audience I think on Twitch is a lot younger too, and you know, you kind of have to have some of those fun things for sure. But does it have 15? But does he have 15 likes? That I don't know. Oh, I don't even think I liked it when I was in there. Do I still have him up? If I still have him up, I got to give him a like. Oh my gosh. Oh my God, there he is. He's got JJ in there now. Yeah, he's got 2. There you go. He's got 3 likes. All right, there we go. And you know what? I'm just going to say this really quickly. I had to come back to drop the like. Good luck with your stream. Uh-oh. It's all in big capitals. But guys, this is a Mac. I can just come down here to transformations, make lowercase, and bang. And then I just have to change that H to a capital H. Whoops, there we go. There we go. Poof, bang. Oh, unable to send the message. Oh, that's weird. Oh, I think he might have went into his members only thing now. There we go. Oh, well, we tried. Hopefully the like still counts. All right. And let's head back to here. All right. No, but didn't you just mute your tab? That's what I just did, Claude. I did. I thought it was already muted. Tom, Gary is waiting for the members to come in, then switch over. Yep. Barely hearing him, very low. Okay. All right. Oh well. At least, you know, it wasn't that important. I just wanted to do it. And oh well, what can I say? Streamception. I know. Walking says, as a Canadian investor, do you invest in any U.S. investments like Roundhill, for example? I don't. And I'll tell you why. I find that Canadian ETFs are just much better managed and put together. So, yeah, and we're talking especially ones that have like covered calls or leverage. I just find the ones in Canada are a lot better. And plus, I don't have to deal with, well, as soon as you start getting into covered call U.S. companies, you have to then start dealing with the withholding tax, unless you're holding it in your RRSP. So yeah, I tend not to hold too much with the U.S. I don't mind looking at them. I don't mind reviewing them. But yeah, I don't really hold a lot. Brian, okay, time to run. Have a good weekend, everyone. Actually, yeah. Oh my God. We were supposed to be done about 20 minutes ago, guys. If you have your last minute questions as I get caught up here, get them on in because we're pretty close to being done here. Claude says, prepping my Gloomhaven board game. Listening, have you ever played? I've never played Gloomhaven. I don't know what it is. I've played board games, of course, all the classics. Also played some Dungeons and Dragons, and you know, in my younger days. But I don't think I know what Gloomhaven is. Well, Hippo, well, missed most of the show. Had some work to do. No worries, no worries. There's always the replay if you're wanting to know what you missed. R of D, is it normal for a brokerage firm to be late on depositing a distribution? So RBC with S day. Typically when you look at the payment date, that's the day that they receive them. Typically, most brokers will give it to you the next day. But I have heard of some brokers taking a little bit longer for sure. Uh-oh, guys, just as we're about to leave, Danny comes in with a super chat of $6.99. Really appreciate your insights on LAR. Thank you. You're welcome. But guys, it's time it's time for Flash Dance Goat. We got the Flash Dance Goat unlocked. There we go. And you know what? We're going to do it twice. I did it twice yesterday. Let's do it twice today. Flash Dance Goat, guys. Loving it. Loving it. All right. Woohoo. Paul says, how do you track your returns if you have withdrawals, a fake stock that is your withdrawals each month? Okay. How do you, okay, so are you, okay. I'm trying to figure out exactly what you're asking here. So, if you have withdrawals, well, obviously, if you're, if it's a real stock, there's no real issue, right? You can always just sort of look at it through your broker. But if you are doing it through the math, the math's. Actually, I have a video from 3 years ago that actually goes through some of the math. But yeah, so I think, yeah, you still have to do the math because basically the adjusted cost base, once it changes, so after you've added to a stock, so whatever the adjusted cost base is, so your ACW or ACB, sorry, once that number changes, you're pulling it out at that value. And that's the value you have to use when you're calculating your any kind of capital gains, any kind of capital losses. So everything that's left behind, that's still at that value, because once you've added and that ACW or ACB has changed, it stays at that level. It doesn't change after that. So it's not that, believe it or not, it's not as complicated as it sounds. It probably sounds a lot more complicated than it is for sure. Yeah, we'll have to do that. We'll have to, that's a video I really want to update. I mean, I like the math in it, but I think the math in it can probably be simplified. So I put that on that's on my list of things I want to do. Let's see. Well, I got my like in. Nice. Yeah, exactly. Danny unlocked the Flash Dance Goat. I love it. Paul says, I guess without inserting it into your formulas. Yeah, I mean, depends. Like, I'd have to see how you got it set up or how you've got your calculation set up. Like, if you have it all set up, Paul, feel free, just message me over there on Discord with what you got, and I can take a look at it and see how that looks. All right, and Walking says, thank you for your live stream. It was great. You're welcome. All right, guys. It is time. It's time. Oh my gosh, we almost got to 2 hours on this one, but hey, it's Friday. I am going to be back here on Sunday. I will see you guys then. If you haven't seen today's video yet, please feel free to check that out. And I do have, oh, wait a minute. Whoops, that's the wrong one. There we go. I do have one last thing I kind of want to tell you guys. And well, that's